What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to look at status bars for PyQT5 and Python. Alright guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to look at status bars. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership to all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee of just $49, which is insanely cheap. Okay, like I said, in this video, we're going to look at status bars. And status bars are this thing down here at the bottom. You can see it's got this little thing where you can resize, little dots there. And we've got some text there, and when we press a button, it'll change. So important to know how to change the text and the messages on the status bar, how to add it, how to remove it, and stuff like that. And that's what we're going to look at in this video. So I'm in my C/PyQT5 directory. I've got my virtual environment turned on, and let's just open up the designer. So type designer, hit enter, and it opens up, and we want a main window. So let's go ahead and create this. And let me just sort of resize this stuff a bit. It kind of fits on the screen. So you'll notice down here at the bottom, there's a status bar. You could sort of make it out already. The little dots here in the corner. So by default, the PyQT designer will add a status bar. And if we look over here, we see, if we click on the main app, we see, sure enough, there's the status bar. So we can click on that. We can rename it if we want. We only have one, so I'm not going to rename it. I usually rename things when there's more than one because we want to reference them and we need different names, but there's only one status bar in this case, so we just leave the name the same. So I'm just going to create a very simple app here. I'm going to add a couple of buttons. Let's push buttons. And let's just, for fun, kind of resize these a bit. And try and make them roughly the same size. Oh, that is way too big. So, it's about the same size-ish. Move that over there. I don't know, something like that. And so we've got two buttons here, and let's click on each one and let's name these different things. I'm going to call this one button 1 underscore push button. Let's call this one button 2 underscore push button because, you know, we want different names. And let's come down here and let's say button 2. We'll do the same thing for this one, button 1, change the text on here. And, you know, just for fun, we can make the text of these bigger if we want. I don't know, let's go 16-ish. Yay. Very exciting. 16. Okay, so we can click on the main window if we want and give this a different text. Right here, let's go status bar stuff. So up here now it says status bar stuff. Okay, so that's really all we need. So let's come over here. Let's go file save as, and I want to save this in my PyQT5 directory. Let's just call this status.ui. So let's head back over to our terminal here. And again, I'm in my PyQT5 directory. Got the virtual environment turned on. So now we need to convert that file into a Python file. So let's go pyuic5-x, and we want to change status.ui to -o status.py, and we've done this lots of times. Okay, so we're good to go there. So now let's open that file up in our Sublime Text Editor. And I'm using the Sublime Text Editor in the Git Bash terminal as always. And as always, you can find a link to the code in the pinned comment section below, as well as a link to the playlist with all the other PyQT5 videos in the series so far. So let's go to File, Open, and navigate to our PyQT5 directory, find that status.py file, and here we go. Okay, so here is our code. And now we just want to navigate down to where those buttons are defined and add a little function call. So when we click the button, it'll do something. In our case, we want to update the status bar. We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's just sort of rough out these functions. So here's push button 1. And here it is. So here we just want clicked to equal lambda. And that's a lowercase l in lambda. I know it looks like a capital L, but it's lowercase. And let's just go self dot, I don't know, let's just call this push underscore 1. And we could copy this, come down here to the other button, make sure it's the button. Yep, sure enough, button 2. And here we could just go push 2. So let's come down here and create those two functions. So let's go define push underscore 1. We want to pass in self. And let's just pass for now. And we also want to define push_2, pass in self. And for now, we'll just pass. Okay, so how do we change the message of the status bar? Well, see up here, we're defining our status bar, and we're setting the status bar as self.statusbar, all lowercase. So we can reference that self.statusbar down here. So we could just go self.statusbar dot show message, and then just pass in whatever we want. I pressed button 1, woohoo, all right? And so we could do the same thing for this guy. I pressed button 2, and it's just that easy. So let's go ahead and save this, head back over to our terminal, and let's go Python status.py to run this guy. And when we do, oh man, those buttons were right up there, weren't they? Oh yeah, I guess I did put them a little close. Oh well. So we click this one, button 1, I press button 1. Hey, button 2, I press button 2. So it's just that easy. So what if we want to clear the message? Well, let's go ahead and change this around a little bit. We could just change this one to nothing. And just for fun, let's come up here and find button 2. And let's change the text on here to clear status bar or something. So now if we save this, run it again. Now we click this, it says I press button 1. We click this one, it clears it, right? Just that easy. So that's how to do it when we've pressed something or taken some action. How do we just update it regularly on its own? So say when the app starts, we want to put a little message down here. So how do we do that? Well, super easy, same exact thing. In fact, we could just sort of copy this and just come up here to the main window section here. This all gets run when the app starts. Right here, I'll just put in press a button or ready, ... right? Whatever you like. So now we can come back over here. Boom, now it says ready. We click this, it changes. We click this, it empties. Very cool, very easy. So that's status bar, really easy to use, very useful. You're gonna use it for all sorts of things. And you could do more than just put text in there. You could put other widgets in there. We'll talk about that probably in another video, but super easy. Now, one more thing I'll talk about is this text size is sort of the default small text size. If you wanna make it bigger, that's pretty simple to do. We just need to tinker a little bit with the code. And first things first, we need to import something. So up here, let's go from PyQT5.Qt GUI. So right here, we imported Qt GUI, but we need to explicitly import Q font. And then down here where we define our status bar, we can again call self.statusbar. So let's say, change the status bar font stuff, right? So self.statusbar dot set font, and then inside of here we can pass in that Q font that we just imported, and then we could set this to whatever we want. So let's go Helvetica maybe, and then let's say we want size 16. That should do the trick. Go ahead and save this, run it one more time. Boom. Now the font down there is nice and big. We click it, it's much bigger. So easy way to change the font. I probably wouldn't change the font. I like having the text very small down there. We want it sort of out of the way. These are little messages that happen as things happen in your app. You don't want to make them the main focal point. So I would use smaller font, but you could, no big deal. Change it to whatever size you want and whatever font type you want. I use Helvetica. You could use, anything you want. Any of your system fonts should work. So we could change this to Times. I think that's like Times New Roman, something like that. And you can't really tell the difference, but it's probably a little different. Whatever. But that's how you do that. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. So it pays just $49 to access all my courses, over 47 courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 150,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from Codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.